What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new episode for everybody. We're at 143 now. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
All right, man. It's a little under the weather. Like being in the cold. Not sure where this came from.
I've had it, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure where this came from, man. I don't know if I touched something, somebody had a cold or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I got something like towards the end of last week, and I'm still got that head cold cough thing going on.
Yeah, but you know, you're not you like get the feeling that you're feeling a cold is coming on. I immediately start taking some medicine just in case. So to beat it off before it even gets here. But still, I got like a little head like stuffiness. So
yeah, it's the worst, especially in the summertime. 'Cause you feel like shouldn't be having these right now, and you're full of them come December, January, February, but I feel like in the summertime that shouldn't have a cold or a cough or anything like that.
Nah, man.
But here we are.
Yeah, man, got jinxed. I mean, let's get right into it, man. Not too much on the NFL. Your boy Aaron Rodgers redoes his deal, saves the team about taking about $35 million less. I know you guys are excited about that. And then now we're hearing about these Adams rumors, potential trade. Man, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm not getting overly excited about it yet. It was interesting to see, and it kind of all the dots are starting to kind of line up. Nathaniel Hackett being in New York, Rodgers taking less money. Devontae was in New York last week or a couple weeks ago, just hanging out with his boy A-Rod. So it's I mean, we'll see. I don't obviously it would be awesome, but again, what's it gonna take, right? Like, what are we talking about? And it's another big contract. So, and the Jets can handle it. They got a lot of younger players. I'm sure again, the salary cap in the NFL is a little bit of a joke, so they can work around that. But adding a guy like that is obviously would be huge, especially for a younger receiving core that they have.
Oh yeah, I think if he does end up going there, that's great for you guys. Give you guys a lot of firepower, and put you along the lines of like that Cincinnati offense where they got not necessarily three receivers, but two, top receivers, and then a running back. So. And with all those weapons he has, he's definitely going to have a field day. So I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that, though.
Yeah.
That might be a 52 touchdown season by Rodgers. So
that'd be something.
And then it wasn't really much else in the NFL. It was just they're just getting ready for this the season, pretty much.
Yeah, it's I think bunch of injuries, last week, and they're still kind of coming out. Cooper Kupp looks like he's sidelined. Obviously, Burrow avoided anything crazy, but yeah, it's been a little quiet in the preseason here. Still waiting on to see where Dalvin Cook signs, but good, just trying to make it out of the preseason healthy. We got the first game tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, that would be a good signing too if you guys got Cook. So that'd be too much firepower, but I wouldn't be hating. And then on to the NBA. Not really too much here. Everything's pretty much chill in the NBA besides not really NBA stuff, but ESPN letting go some of these announcers that do the NBA games. So no more Mark Jackson and your boy Van Gundy. They are here replacing them with Doris Burke and Doc Rivers. That's an odd combo. Might have to put those NBA games on mute when they announce them.
Yeah, I thought it was a weird combo too. It's gonna be a lot of high pitched talking between Doc and Doris Burke, and when they get excited.
Yeah, I can't see Doc Rivers announcing. Like, I can't see him being excited. I don't know, man. Your girl Doris Burke hates the Celtics, so she's gonna be killing you guys on the commentary.
Yeah, I mean, used to it, especially when they're playing Philly.
So I mean, we're gonna have to see how this pans out. ESPN still doing some reshuffling over there. I was hearing Shannon Sharp's supposed to be on this week for Sports Center on First Take, but I don't know if it was this week or next week. So I heard something's getting done over there. So
interesting. I did hear Shady McCoy, LaShawn McCoy.
What, over at First Take or?
Yeah. Shady McCoy taking over that spot too.
That's interesting because he's still on. I think he's still signed to Fox because he has that other show, The Speak. I think that's so. I wonder when that's up. Maybe he's waiting to that show is over before he hops over there. But I like him too though on the commentary. He keeps it real though on some on players. So
he does.
Definitely looking forward to it. And then like I said, there wasn't much else in the NBA. And then for not really much MLB, they had the trade deadline wrap up. Your boy Verlander goes back to the Astros, which helps them out tremendously. Now they're pretty much favored to win it all again, go back to back. They have a good record. I mean, one of those teams that are always in the playoffs, always making some kind of noise. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this plays out for them.
Yeah, it was interesting watching the Mets kind of sell everything off. After making some big splashes in the offseason with Scherzer and Verlander, and now they're both gone. And now they're saying they're looking to rebuild over the next couple of years. And I think, I saw this article where they're eyeing like 2029. It just seemed like a very odd comment. Steve Cohen was talking about how, despite their, losing, they're all having fun together. And to me, it's about winning, and that's it. And they're not winning. And so if I'm not winning, I'm not having fun, especially when you're paid to win baseball games. So I'm not sure where this whole Steve Cohen thing is coming from.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you're having fun if you're not winning. Losing is not fun. So, I think, like I said, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with these other pieces in the offseason. 2029 is pretty much, that's a far reach as far as time to rebuild, especially a team that was in the playoffs and in the playoff hunt. So I feel like if they just had one or two adjustments, they would have been right back in it. But something over there is not going right. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out.
Yeah. Yep. No.
And then outside of that, I mean, the Yankees didn't really do anything. Which is a little upsetting. There's still no Ohtani trade or deal. So we're going to have to wait to see how that plays out over the summer. And then, the Orioles, they went out there, they got another pitcher. So, that was one of the teams the Yankees are trying to catch up with. So it's going to hurt us, being the fact that we didn't really make any moves. So,
yeah, I think the Yankees were stuck in that purgatory spot where, they're not entirely out of it, but you also don't want to sell off any players but also not really that close. So you don't want to spend a bunch of prospects to get a rental player. So, yeah, I feel like the Red Sox are probably in the same spot. Like you said, the Orioles went out and grabbed I think Flaherty from St. Louis, who's having a decent year. And they're really surging. They're now in the head of the AL East. With Tampa behind them, right at their heels. So, I think the AL East is still probably head and shoulders above every other division. But fortunately, when you're in last place, there, it doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah, definitely does.
So, especially with the Houston going out and getting Verlander and they're making a strong push at Texas. Texas and them are 1 and 2 in the West. It's gonna be tough for the Red Sox, the Yankees to make up ground there to get into those last couple of wild card spots.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. Hopefully they can do it and turn it around, but if not, it's gonna be a long season, man.
For sure, and an even longer off season.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, man. Because the Yankees haven't been in the playoffs since I feel like it's been forever, man. So We're gonna have to wait and see, man.
Yep.
There's no PGA's not up yet, right?
They're playing in they're actually playing in Greensboro, North Carolina. I believe it's the last regular season tournament before they get into the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's usually not a star-studded event, but because there's a couple of big names like Justin Thomas that are trying to get into the Ryder Cup and to get into the FedEx Cup playoffs, there's a little more on the line this week. So you'll see some on the broadcast, probably some very interested parties and trying to get into that top 70 to start the playoffs next week in Chicago.
And who you liking in this tournament?
Oof, this is a tough one. I liked Tom Kim. He was defending from last year's win, but he pulled out with an ankle sprain. I would say Justin Thomas is probably a good one, but he has played terribly this year.
Mm-hmm.
Matsuyama, I think, is playing this week. He's probably a good bet. Sung J M, he's up there, but people are fading him. Shane Lowry's not a bad bet at 22-1. I think he's coming off a missed cut at the British Open, so he'll be looking for probably some retribution this week. But it's not a very star-studded event because a lot of people are resting up for the FedEx Cup. Like I said, the guys there are fighting for cash. So
it's definitely gonna be a interesting one to see if those other guys can place high to secure that spot for the playoffs. So. And then it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right. So for tonight, kind of made an ad hoc enchilada. I was going to make some chicken enchiladas. Didn't realize I didn't have enough corn tortillas. So this will be an enchilada bake.
Okay.
So for the chicken, just crock potted the chicken in the morning, low for 8 hours, some chicken broth, salt, pepper. So let that get to a point where it was ready to be shredded. So once that was good to go, in a pan, fried up some onions, threw some shredded chicken in there, tomato sauce, chicken broth, oregano, salt, pepper, and that was ready for the filling. And then for the enchilada sauce, made a homemade enchilada sauce. So chipotle, peppers, and adobo sauce, just a little bit of that, mixed with tomato sauce, chicken broth, chili powder, and salt, pepper. Mix that all up, and then started making almost like a lasagna of enchiladas. So on the bottom, sauce, put the corn tortillas, first layer down, meat on top, cheese, and then sauce, and then another layer of corn tortilla, cheese, sauce, and then topped it off with some little street taco flour tortillas. So put those on top with whatever enchilada sauce I had left, and topped that with cheese and baked it in the oven for about 25 minutes. So the flour tortilla on top was a kind of a nice addition because it gave it a little crunch, and actually came out pretty good. A healthy-ish version of enchiladas.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that, man. I've seen that. I just reminded me of something. I seen something where they did kind of like, you know how they make lasagna, but instead of using the pasta, they use the tortillas. Is that more like what you did or no?
Kinda, yeah. But you saying like a regular lasagna with like meat sauce and ricotta and all that?
Well, kind of. So like, let's say instead of the pasta, you use the tortillas, but then you use the taco meat, like the taco flavor meat, and then they use like a quesadilla cheese.
Very, very similar.
And then they cut it into squares, like they baked it, then they cut it into squares. Yeah, that definitely sounds good, man. And then what you guys drink that down with?
All right, so this is a beer from Palmetto Brewing. They're out of Charleston, South Carolina. one of the kind of I would say original craft breweries down in that area. They opened in 1993, so they've been around for a while. Similar to Berkshire Brewing Company in Deerfield. I know you're probably familiar with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say across their kind of their lineup of beers, pretty solid. I would say anything jumps out at you that is like gonna knock your socks off, but nothing is bad. They're all pretty good. So this was had the peach pale ale, obviously with peaches in the South, especially down there as you get closer to Georgia. Everyone loves their peaches. So peach pale ale comes in at 5.4%. Very very citrusy. Peach not my most favorite flavor, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it can be refreshing when done right, and this one was done very well. I thought it was wasn't too fruity, wasn't too sweet. Still had kind of that pale ale kick on the back end. I think they use Simcoe and Amarillo hops, so still a hoppy beer, but throwing in that peach flavor is a little bit of a palate cleanser. So again, thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna go out of my way to get it,
Okay.
but if it's there, I'm not gonna turn it down either. So I'd throw that at a solid 7.
It's not too shabby.
No.
What was the peach flavor more like strong peach, or was it like just like a hint of?
I didn't get a strong peach, but to me, I don't ever think peach is overpowering.
Mm-hmm.
People that don't like peach can definitely, like Michelle doesn't like peach, and she can taste it right away, and is not a fan.
Okay.
To me, it's almost like it just kind of balances it a little bit, gives it a little bit of a fruity flavor, but it doesn't like take over where it feels like you're eating a peach. You know what I mean?
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah. So it's
Just
not
kind of it balances that hot profile a little bit. It kind of tones it down a touch.
Mm-hmm.
Amarillo typically is a little bit of a stronger hop, at least in my mind. Simcoe and Amarillo, yeah, where it can kind of take over a beer. And I feel like that didn't happen, and I also felt like the peach didn't take over, so it was a good balance.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds a nice little blend. So
Yeah.
and then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then this week for the BRRs, I mean, we just wrapped up our shows. Now we got to find a new batch, man. We had a cool summer wrap up. I mean, the show was okay, man. It's not as great as the first season. And then like we talked about it off air, I mean, they dropped the police dropped the ball on a lot of stuff, man. So overall, I just thought it was okay, man.
Yeah, I felt like the ending was kind of lame, and I know they had the big twist at the end where what's her name, Isabel. Regardless, the fact that she had the chance to save him and kind of just
Isabel
finished him off. I didn't really care at that point. Like, to me, he's already dead. Like, she showed up, she could have saved the day. Everyone knows she's kind of a little scummy. I don't know. I guess that didn't bother me as much. Maybe from a TV show perspective, obviously. Like, if that's your last scene and that's the end of the show, it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like pointless. I mean, he was dead. Everyone assumed he was dead. I don't know what you gain out of that. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to continue the show, which they're not going to do. I would assume they're not going to do. If they do, and they bring Isabel to they do another one, then fine. I'm good with that. But otherwise, it was kind of a wasted line.
Yeah, man. It just wasn't. I mean, it's pretty much. I felt like it was over after the brother confessed that he had killed him. So, I mean, it was just like, okay. So actually, she did it, but she's already long gone on a plane to somewhere else. Yeah. Homegirl sitting there crying because her best friend killed her boyfriend and actually slept with her boyfriend, but it made it seem like she was going to go find her, get her back, as she was like gathering herself towards the end. But it was just like, it was kind of pointless at that point. Like,
exactly.
Because it's not like they're going to go into another season where we're going to see her try to get her back. unless they do that, because it looks like what they're doing is just going to a whole new stories for each season. So
Yeah.
but
Yep, that was my thought exactly. They could have ended it without that. It was interesting though, like that last scene where they're showing the camera. Like,
mhm.
I feel like if you're any sort of a good cop, detective, anyone really. I mean, other than the dad who was obviously just trying to hide things, you stand on that dock and you kind of just look around, right? You're trying to gather a lay of the land, poking around. Maybe go to. I'm assuming it was the neighbor's camera, the guy, the
Yeah.
recluse guy. Like, go to him, be like, "Hey, I know you have a bunch of cameras on your property. Where are they? And do you have a view of this dock?" Right? Like, I don't know, just like common sense stuff that Detective 101, where they just whiffed.
Yeah, they definitely don't watch First 48, man.
No.
Because that's what the First 48, they looking for all the cameras first. They're talking to all the neighbors. But it just seems like they missed it, man. Because I mean, that would have solved that damn thing, the whole show from the beginning.
Oh,
But
yep. But then you don't have a
um,
show.
yeah, and then like I said, they didn't even get any of the footprints. So like normally on the beach, she was like where she was is like it's gonna leave a footprint where the body
Yeah,
was.
especially with her heel or whatever. She was wearing like heels.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
what was it, another coroner, yeah, maybe it's like other coroners or examiners, when they examine the dead body, they'll see the pressure from the head.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, as I said, I felt like a lot of stuff was missed and overlooked. So,
I
but
agree.
overall, it was all right show.
Yeah.
Not better than the first, but something you can check out if you have time. So then we had the Crowder Room. I finished that.
Hmm.
I was a little confused at the end because I thought that was a new personality, the one that remember after you tried to kill herself, and then there was the one in the cage, but come to find out that was the same one, but the thing is that he is really the what's the guy's name?
Adam.
Yeah, he's really Adam. So
Yeah, I think that was the whole point. Was that Jack locked Danny, the regular guy, right? Locked Danny
mhm,
away. Didn't feel like he could handle it. And then when what they try to do is basically pull Adam, or let Danny know that Adam is Danny, right? That he doesn't have a brother. He
yep.
used that as a defense mechanism. And I think once he kind of realized what was going on, he was like, "Oh yeah, this guy was not raping Adam; he was raping me."
Mhm. Yeah, but overall it was a good show, man. I'm interested to see. I know I heard there's a documentary about it, based off that guy. So,
Oh really?
yeah, I might check that out. I think it was on Netflix or something. Definitely might check that out, to see how it is, to see if there was like other stuff in the doc that they didn't show on the show. But overall, it's a good show, man. Um, Apple's doing this thing, man, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
And then the other Apple show, Hijack, that finished up. Another good show.
Hmm.
We figured out that what they were doing with the plane wasn't about the letting those guys out, but I figured that's what that was the big play. I'm doing something with the stock market so they can cash out.
I
And
didn't see that coming.
I figured that was because after they got out, there was no reason for them to like keep the hostages on the plane. And then homeboy, I guess the bald dude was not the leader because they shot his ass.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. But overall, I'm interested to see if what direction they going with this show. If it's like more like another hijacking, and then they bring in Idris Elba for like assistance, or if it's a whole new situation, like a different type of hijack. So,
Hmm.
but overall, it was a good show, man.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty well done. I did kind of like the end where he had to go back in and the guy was still in there. Um,
I thought the guy would have put up
the
more of a fight, and
you're right, right.
I thought that would have been a bigger like battle scene.
I thought so too. I didn't really care much for the how cool and collected that woman who shot the pilot was.
Yeah,
Like, because she wasn't really part of that crew. She was kind of being blackmailed or extorted into doing that, and she was like, the way that she kind of like stormed up to the cockpit, and in retrospect, like, I'd have been nervous as hell, right?
yeah, but
Like,
they said she was like a former naval Air Force or something. So I'm sure she has some
Yeah,
experience with.
yeah. I just felt like it was like kind of crazy how she just stormed right up there.
Yeah, but then there was another girl on the plane who like didn't do anything. Because remember when the doctor's wife were trying to hand the lady the like the coconut water that had the writing on it, and she wouldn't take it.
Hmm.
I think that lady was in on it too, but she didn't do anything. Because remember also when like they all got their phones back and they're calling their families. She's like, oh,
Yeah,
I
she
don't
didn't
have
know what to
anybody
call.
call. Yeah, so I felt like she was in on it too, but she didn't do anything. So it was definitely a good show, man. I think I would give it like a 7.5, 7 point something, like high
Yeah,
7 point
I
something.
think that's
Not
fair.
not necessarily an 8, but overall it's a good show, man.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And then I checked out there's another show, Special Ops Lioness. That's on Paramount Plus. Pretty much about the special ops team that they're trying to catch some like terrorists, so to say. And then they get this girl who's stumbles across she gets in a bad situation, ends up joining the army. They end up recruiting her to CIA, and she's helping them like find out, like catch some kind of terrorist. So it's only got 3 episodes out. It's on Paramount Plus. So far so good. So I'm looking forward to seeing the direction the show goes in. Hopefully it's good. We've got a few big names in there. So Nicole Kidman's in there. Homegirl from Guardians of the Galaxy. I forgot her name. The one that played Avatar. I can't remember her name. It'll come to me. They got a few people in there, man. So definitely looking forward to seeing how it plays out. And then outside of that, I mean, there wasn't really much else, man. We got Winning Time coming back this week. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I know you're gonna be hyped for your boy Larry Bird to be cooking on there. So
Yeah,
um,
we got Lincoln Lawyer second half coming back tomorrow.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. You got
I don't know.
yes.
I don't know if you've watched City on Fire on Apple.
No, I haven't seen that. What's that about? That's good.
It's worth a watch. Yeah, it's basically about this girl gets shot in Central Park and trying to figure out who did it, and then basically there's been a lot of fires in this whole kind of story develops around this after this girl gets shot, around what's going on with this. There's a rich family and things going on there with the dad, and it's just all kind of woven into this story about this girl getting shot in Central Park on
Interesting.
July 4th. Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. I think it's only it might be 10 episodes, but it's a quick watch. Very well done. I don't think I don't didn't recognize any of the actors actresses, but one guy is actually I recognize. But other than that, yeah, I thought it was really well done. It's a little slow to start, but by episode 3, I think you'll be hooked on it. Plus, it's in New York, so I know you love that.
Definitely have to give it a watch because that show kind of sounds like Full Circle.
Yeah, it's honestly like I got them mixed up a couple times. It's kind of similar.
Oh, I'll definitely check it out because I finished Full Circle too. It was all right. The ending was kind of like not too it wasn't like a bang ending. It was just like kind of a little let down. So, but overall, it was all right show. Pretty much about a botched kidnapping. But the kidnapping is the reason why kidnapping was planned was due to some past stuff. And out throughout the show, you figure out what that past stuff was involving 2 different families. So definitely wasn't a bad watch. So, and it's only like 6 episodes, so I'll definitely have to check that out. City on Fire.
Yeah. Yep.
And then really wasn't much else, man. You had your boy Fez pass away, man.
Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if he was one of those people where the art imitates his life. Like he did such a good job on the show. You wonder if who he was on the show was actually like part of like that was part of his life. Like you said, sad, man. Prayers and condolences out to the family. I wonder what direction the show's going to go into, or if we're even going to get another show, another season of Euphoria. So
I would say, I mean, for the show, I mean, they could easily just kind of toss him in jail, and that's his, that's it, right? I mean, he was headed that way. Obviously, they could. It was a good storyline, and again, sad for Fez, but I think that the show definitely has some options with where he was going.
Yeah, but I feel like his story, like his character was him and the little brother were like kind of like the strong secondary story.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
So I wonder what direction they're gonna go into. And then as far as the best friend, her former best friend was kind of like fall in love with him. So wonder if they write her off or they keep her in it, or just to see what direction they go into. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
yeah, because was this their senior year or no?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I watched it.
Yeah, I hate when shows go like on the 2-year hiatus.
It makes it difficult to kind of like remember where we were.
Yeah, man. So we just have to give it a rewatch if they bring it back. But other than that, man, really wasn't much else, man.
That's all I got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.